If the dropper and the crafting table would have a child, then it would be the Autocrafter. The Autocrafter is a new addition on one of the latest snapshots of the 1.21 update, and it's considered as the holy grail of farming and automation. It's like an item container, so you can fill it up, and if you have a resulting recipe and power that thing with redstone, it spits your crafted item out, either in the air, or if you have a container in front of it, then into that one. The comparator output is quite interesting, because the sickness strength rises up every time a slot of the crafter is occupied with any amount of items, to a maximum sickness strength of 9. Disabling a slot by clicking on it also counts. What I have found is that there are 3 different approaches to the autocrafting, while they are not necessarily exclusive to each other. The first would be the predetermined recipe crafting, which means you always leave some items in the crafter that form a template. Oh, wait a second, I think I ran out of stone. Yep. The second would be order and submit. You let the items flow into your autocrafter in a specific order and then craft them. And the third would be fire and forget. Very good with single item type crafting recipes. Just spam your autocrafter with redstone pulses, it will craft something eventually. If you're the type of player who plays its Minecraft worlds over the span of many updates, I wouldn't recommend the third option, because if Mojang decides to add a crafting recipe that coincidentally collides with your auto-crafting setup, then your machine will be broken. The chance of that happening is arguably slim, but for example, my bow crafter would be broken as soon as Mojang decides to add the Kendama update. A more realistic and also present example: if we want to craft iron blocks, then this is not the right configuration for that. However, iron bars can be crafted, yes, even if you don't want them. So if Mojang ever decides to add gold bars into the game, then this gold block converter will not be working anymore. Just saying. So if you like to autocraft iron blocks, then this one white tileable contraption can be the solution. This comparator, providing a sickness strength of 8 to this dust, can only be overridden by a sickness strength of 9 by the comparator measuring the autocrafter here. And when that happens, the autocrafter is triggered once by depowering and powering a redstone torch. We can also go one step further. We can first compress iron nuggets into iron ingots. Then we can bring the iron ingots into the next crafter. That one then crafts iron blocks. Very slowly, arguably, but it works. This machine works by having the crafter here. It doesn't craft anything, every one of the item slots is blocked, but the sickness strength that is read out and put into that comparator is a sickness strength of 9 then, so only another sickness strength of 9 can pass through to this block here. Then, if we have the full circle, the power goes into the dropper, powering the crafter, and the item goes through. This somewhat shorter version is basically the same as this one, just, yeah, a bit shorter. And by the way, they both are not tileable, but this is not the goal that I had here. This contraption here, a combination of 2 methods, so we have a spammy crafter here, and a sort and submit crafter right here. Just that the sorting part falls a little short if you only have one type of item. And this, again, is tileable. Woohoo! And if you don't care about tileability, then you can also go this route. It's a little smaller, a little quieter. And as all the other contraptions, we get our iron blocks out of here. I think every recipe with 2 to 4 items in it and without any unstackables is best to be crafted with method number 1, and that is template crafting, where you always have some items in your crafter, so you don't have to worry about the order. The droppers will put their items in the correct spot, and all the barrels have to be at least filled somewhat, or else the machine would shut itself down. The only reason that this machine currently is not running is that this barrel here is full. So if we would take out one redstone comparator stack, then we can see it in action. It fills itself up, and who would have guessed, it crafts redstone comparators. And just to quickly demonstrate what would happen if one of the items would be emptied out, let's say the redstone torches, we can see this torch turning on, then the whole redstone line turns on, the piston retracts, and the clock down here disables itself. Unstackable items inside a crafting recipe. Method number 2, sort and submit, is the right approach. We have a tower of droppers here, facing into a tower of containers that will funnel down the items in the right order. They need to be activated at the same time, and this is why the scaffolding tower is here. And because we find it a hassle to deal with bows, we have another crafter that crafts the bows. And as soon as one of the items turns empty, yeah, the whole machine, like the other one, stops itself. The dropper tower makes sure that the order is correct. It puts it into this container tower here. And if we look at the crafter, we can see how everything falls in place perfectly. Like always, this comparator can only activate if this crafter here is full, and the activation sends the signal up into this redstone dust, activating the crafter. At the same time, we do need a batch of new items, so the scaffolding tower here is triggered also. We also do a little bit of cheating, I have to admit. So we trigger this lamp here twice, and we make 4 ticks out of that. And these 4 are getting picked up by the observer here, and that again triggers our bow crafter. So this crafter here is being triggered 4 times, which isn't too much of a problem, because we make sure that we always have items in here by locking it. So as long as we have a couple of bows into this barrel here and it always crafts 2 at once, then the crafter will not do anything, even if it's triggered. I'm quite sure that there are many other gifted people who can make this machine just a lot smaller, more efficient, faster, I don't know, but I don't care. It was a lot of fun building with it. I have to say, I'm quite excited about this block.